Okay. Yeah. Um, okay. So, like always, let's begin with Dow first. Dow futures. Um, we like the view that I had on Thursday for Friday was that if this line breaks, then I was expecting a level of about that, like any up move, any up move, any small up move, because the trend has, I mean, it's not exactly perfectly in trend right now. So if it breaks this level, any up move till at least 35,200 ish. But if it broke the support, okay, the rising support trend line, then it is sort of a breakdown, sort of a flag-ish breakdown where the levels to be expected are the length of the flag, which comes about 33,500 ish. So like right now, I'm not exactly um, like, and the view is not exactly of a breakdown yet because this is the range that I'm now observing. But closing below this line, actually, I mean, it's a diamond pattern and a breakdown from the pattern. So more or less, as I mean, as long as it does not close above this line again, right? Above this line again, as long as that does not happen, until then I'm hoping for a breakdown. Like I won't be taking extraordinary long trades, aggressive long trades on our markets, thinking that maybe our Dow will support us. It did gave a closing. I mean, even if it was a low and then closed above here, I could still be hoping. I would still be hoping, but then it gave a proper closing. So now I'm not exactly certain whether these levels will be sustained. So cautious view, hoping to trade stocks wherein the overall Nifty movement does not affect much, right? The second view towards the end of the last session on the Thursday was about Bank Nifty, right? When like usually it's not just my view, it's an observation that whenever we think that all's well and Bank Nifty is just going to run, now that view is that general opinion is enough for a breakout, a gap up, but that view is like it cannot be sustained as such. So usually, I mean, the only statement that I shared last time was on the first take I won't be a buyer at Bank Nifty or the banking stocks. Now, overall, towards the end, there was an uptick, right? But there was another news that some Sensex rebalancing was going to happen. So a lot of stocks like HDFC Bank or even Reliance saw some weird volume spikes. Now this is not easy to anticipate, like intercept or even like take out the mean. Like what exactly is this? Is this delivery by? Because this usually shows in the delivery, but I don't know what is the impact of this on next week's view. So where the market opens is one thing, where these stocks open is another. Like the first 1 hour will actually tell what is the meaning of this volume, what exactly happened here. Some stocks like TCS, right? I mean, they saw a weird, like a very sharp correct breakdown, but then there was volume at the end in the buying side as well. So there was someone who's picking volume after this breakdown. There was someone who's selling. So some kind of rebalancing, but then interpretation is quite difficult as of now. Tomorrow morning, like first 1 hour or 1.5 hour, I will look at what is happening, what kind of price action, what kind of movement happens in this region, what kind of volume enters here. Then on that behalf, I'll generate a view, I'll generate an overall view. But as of now, Nifty is I'm not. I mean, it's still not bearish as such. I mean, it is still bullish to me. Bank Nifty now. When on Thursday, when I was speaking about this, what I needed from the market is a closing, right? Now green or red makes no difference to me. I only needed it to sustain this red line above this red line on a closing basis, which it did. Right? I was not a buyer on Friday, but I'm not a seller on like tomorrow. This is a breakout for me. So um, hoping that this would be an impulse, then maybe even if there's a dip, I'm looking to buy it. If there's a consolidation, I'm interested in it. So as of now, right now, I mean, bank nifty sort of interests me more than nifty. I mean, there's no exceptional trigger in nifty. It's consistently in an up move, consistently in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows sort of trend. And but Bank Nifty was consolidating. There was a pattern. Now it's given a breakout. So Bank Nifty has fresh value from a momentum trader's point of view compared to Nifty right now. This is one. This is one view, like continuation of what I shared on Thursday. Now, there's one particular story which I'm interested in right now. Like some of the stocks, for example, Lakshmi Organics. Okay. Now, a lot of stocks are seeing this kind of buying, right? Now, I have a very small group, but there are some intelligent people there. Now, a few of investor type people, they are worried like what exactly changes in a stock and what creates a re-rating like this. Right? Nothing happens overnight. If someone knew about this happening, then why were they sleeping? Why did not they buy here? Right? Now, it's a logical question, and I mean, yeah, there are sometimes companies get orders and anti-dumping. Like this news was triggered by an anti-dumping duty, but that is for 5 years. Nothing that impacts tomorrow or next month, right? It is for a period of 5 years, for a certain period of 5 years. Not enough for a stock to double in a month, right? From 300 level to 600 plus level it touched. So this one, I'll take a few minutes. I'll explain just one point which I've read about and listened to it on TV channel as well. There was one person who explained it, and I've also read about this, which was in case of Maruti. That was in 2018. I'm not sure how many of you were in the markets at the back then. Uh, from 2018 January, somewhere around this level. I've marked them already till November of you. Now this is a 30%, 34% correction in Maruti. Okay. Now what that gentleman explained was during this time. Okay. See, our markets are like they rally or they drop based on buying and selling, right? The difference between buyers and the sellers, right? So usually FIIs are the big bosses, right? They have a little more money, a lot more money, not just a little, a lot more money than DIIs comparatively, right? I mean, they can turn markets better than what retailers can do or what FIIs can do. Unless FIIs are in full swing, let's say LIC buys or some other banks, they start buying. In that case, it's different. Otherwise, more or less, it's FIIs are the key like participants, right? So what happened during this time was during the same phase when there was a 30% correction. Another chart which I regularly track is USD INR. Okay, the appreciation and depreciation of rupee against dollar. Now during that period, the same period from January of 2018 till October, November of 2018, there was a 17% rise from 63 till 74 level. Now, if calculated properly, the amount to be like booked or to be paid for a share of Maruti at this price, the drop of 30% in Maruti's price, and the amount of like required per share from dollar terms, right? From dollar terms to be paid for Maruti's share. This was, I've not personally calculated, but if I remember it correctly, it was about 70 to 80% depreciation, like the discount in the share price of Maruti for a foreign investment client, right? So if they had booked Maruti here and they had bought Maruti here, irrespective of what Maruti share price did, had it been the same, even then they would have gotten it at a 17% discount, and then Maruti's price fell, which makes the discount even bigger, larger for them, right? So this is what happens. This is what, if someone understands that the major participant of our markets understand, have a, like, obviously they have more information than us, they have more guidance than us, they have more channel checks than us, they are better at tracking international markets than us. If some of the big money has an idea that this is going to happen, right, and they don't expect Maruti to gain, right? In that case, it's logical to just sell Maruti here and buy Maruti here again, right? Makes sense? Sell Maruti here, buy Maruti here again, right? Because you're paying less of dollars for more of rupees, right? Makes sense, logical sense. So the view right now, why this is important right now, why did I bring this up right now? So I've been tracking this chart a lot, right? What it's been doing is, there was a pattern here, right? And then we saw a very sweet rally, okay, which fizzled out quite quickly. Slow and steadily, it came down, bounced one, came down, bounced two, came down, bounced three. Okay, assuming, I'm ignoring this point, but if I was to consider this point again, and now it's at the same level, this very same level, right? So assuming this to be a support instead of this range, right? Second point which I would like to point out is we are already fading below a major previous resistance. Okay. Now, to simplify this, what I'm exactly trying to point out is we are creating a range over here, more or less, right? With it knocking the support level. Where now another aspect here is it is making a descending triangle pattern. Okay. Now, by logic, an ascending triangle pattern is a bearish pattern. A descending triangle pattern is a an ascending triangle pattern is a bullish pattern. A descending triangle pattern is a bearish pattern. So the more it knocks at this level, right? And I mean, I'm not expert in like foreign currencies as such. I don't exactly try the trend, but chart I'm used to. So if it keeps knocking here time and again, there'll be a situation where it will breach the level, right? So what I think right now is breaking this range, this 72 and 72 71 range, right? Um, I suspect, okay, I not I expect, I suspect. What I think is happening is maybe this is the top of this USD INR range for the like foreseeable future. Okay, now this is not based on um, like international news or something. Tactically, I'm just saying that maybe how the economy is booming, how the emerging markets are going, or whatever. But chart, if this pattern has to break now, I'll obviously get my pattern targets here, which would be somewhere around this level. Okay, which happens to be another support, right? Breaking this 768 level means we actually break the trend, the uptrend that is in the it's been since 2008 2007 there has been a consistent uptrend. Breaking 68 will result. Now I'm not expecting this anytime. I cannot exactly say on charts when this will happen, but whenever, if at all this has to happen, right, it has a meaning for the kind of rally that we're seeing in the markets right now. What it means is the kind of blind inflow that we're seeing, like some stocks are at P's above hundreds, 200, even 300s, right? Now, I don't think those levels will be matched. On charts, I cannot expect those levels to be matched anytime soon, like in next 1 quarter results or 2 quarter results. That is not something I'm anticipating right now. But flowing with the market, what I think is why this is happening. The only logical solution I can I can anticipate, I can draw from this move is break off 72 and at least a touch of 68. What happens beyond is I mean it's beyond my capacity right now. But if we break 72, I'll have an understanding of what is going to happen here. So this is one logic which I can place of why we are seeing so much inflow, because inverse of what had happened here is applicable here too, right? So let's say Indian companies don't like, they do well, but they don't do exceptionally well, right? But even in that case, if someone enters Indian market during this phase, right, and they see a fall here, right? Even if Nifty stays at this level, they'll still make a profit, a net profit of over 13%, 13-14%, right? I mean, this is logical. This is a logical thing. See, this is something I applied on. If you check the last three, 4 videos, the logic is what I've applied on Dow and expecting a relative move on Nifty. Logic is what I applied. If I mean, that message was not shared in the group, I had written that during the fall, during our day fall, right? What happened in Nifty? I suspected that maybe Dow will enter that range. It had not entered by then, by our closing, and which happened in the like overnight, during the after our close, after the Friday night. On the Friday night, it happened. So if you apply logic, it like, markets are more common sense. Assuming you understand charts well. If you understand charts well, markets are more like common sense. So the only logical reason, this is a small panel, I'll sum it up. The only logical reason why I think this blind rally is going on is because um, dollar term returns, basically. So entering a market at 73 and then hoping for maybe 68, I don't know, or even maybe this if this happens, it will result in a downtrend, right? So that being done, this is the overall review. I mean, this is the story I'm tracking right now. If this happens, I know why rally is happening, and then I can position myself accordingly. I can limit my exposure for the time being, or I can start observing the phases in the market, when the moves will come, which sectors can move, and all of that. Let's go to the stocks now. Yeah, this is the list. So since we have closed a week, right? Now these are the stocks. These are different patterns. Like earlier, it was just BTST and charts which were done, or maybe there was expected a momentum. If Nifty follow throughs, then the stock follow through, something like that. Not exactly price action based. They were momentum based trades. Momentum based trades actually require you to track the live market. Like my students have, they get to use my indicators and all of that. So they have systems which support them during live market, which tells them whether the stock is to be bought or not to be bought, right? So sometimes, if like Rosari did a 8% move the very next day, while what had happened on Friday was a lot of stocks were 1 or 2% down. So that depends on day-to-day basis. But these stocks are not exactly momentum based. These stocks are based on chart development. Like sometimes there are good companies on the verge of fresh entry, where if someone is taking an SIP, they could add a little more, or they can think about it. If someone's not having any position in a company and they think it's a good company, then these are the levels where I look to enter fresh, or maybe add a little more. Okay. So the first on the list is DCM Sriram. I think there was some sort of news that day on Friday for this company. It did not exactly correct with the index. Now these are weekly patterns, right? There's a fresh breakout coming here, right? Momentum wise, it's absolutely perfect. Volume had come in, and there was a consolidation which is now going for a breakout. So this is one counter, simple counter. It's an uptrend. No, I usually don't. I won't be trading like even Coal India. I'll do it, and it's not in the list. I'll do that in the towards the end of the session. But that was one chart which was in significant downtrend. Okay, consistent in downtrend. So that is one counter I've never traded as such. Now this one is an uptrend from here, consistently an uptrend. Okay, there was one breakout, and then which resulted in an uptrend. Now hoping for better levels here. I'm not holding any. I keep buying through phases. Right now there's none. So tomorrow, maybe if market supports and this reacts, maybe I'll look to trade this one. Second chart I'm looking at, Metropolis, same pattern. These four are similar patterns. Again, a pure uptrending chart, no doubts there. Consolidation is almost done. Breakout, on the verge of breaking out. Third chart is Manali Petro. Similar chart, uptrend is clear, right? As normal 1 month consolidation and about to break out with fresh volume coming in. Four chart, Phenolics pipe, pipe, journalist in industry, sorry. Same thing. Now there was a this particular, just a second. Just a second. There's something I wanted to explain here. Okay. So if we go to daily, and there's something that's important here. If you see this volume, right, the small volume, okay. Now the delivery quantity here and the delivery quantity on this day are more than the delivery quantity of this spike, right? So like even in this crisscross, like whatever green and reds and all, someone is actually, I mean, I could spot someone is buying here and again buying here on red candles, right? So the usual understanding is if there are too many sellers, there is too much supply. That is the best time for like people who want to buy large sums, large quantities. That is the best time for them to accumulate. Now, I cannot exactly tell if it's a retail or it's a fund. I mean, that happens if there's a block deal or something. But what I'm looking for in this chart is it is developing quite well. It is an uptrend. There's fresh volume and there is delivery. There are still people who there's no FOMO. There's no trading bet as such. So there are still people who are accumulating this counter. So if the best way to add would be for me would be when it reaches this level 200 198 200 level. So this is the range I'll be interested in if I see a probable setup, like right now hoping keeping a target, right, like entering here and keeping an SL would be too aggressive right now. So if I see a breach of 199 200 and I'll look to buy it with a small SL. As long as it holds, I'll keep it. I hope like this volume tells me that maybe there's an N.I.S.M type move coming. Let's see if that happens. Another chart is Surya Roshni. Now I'm late at this one. It rallied over almost 18% on Friday. A little more than how much is this? Around 9.7% on Thursday. But there's absolutely no second thoughts about like in the people who have bought, and the volume is like it is too less. This is 22.7 million, 27 lakhs, and the delivery quantity is about 7 lakhs, which I think is not exactly enough for this. Like the move is not yet done. So if I see a small correction or something like Zeal, what happened in Zeal, and Friday was a green candle. So if something like that happens here, I might take an like I'm looking for an entry if I get a probable setup with a slow little SL. I might take an entry here. This could be I don't know. I mean, the momentum is so strong it could actually just stop at 1,000. Like I mean, that could actually happen here. It's from a normal trader's point of view, this is too aggressive. I understand. I totally understand. But if you're good at risk management, if you know how much quantities when to buy, then this is when I mean usually in the group I share 10%, 15%. This will be my 5% quantity trade. But I'm hoping for a good ROI here. Um, Now these are some of the charts which are building up. All four charts are same setup. Amrutanjan, Gabriel, Gujarat Alkali, and Jindal. Right now, this is a similar chart I've shared to you about regarding DEML, and when I'd shown SBI cards and Pidlite, and so there's one impulse and then it goes into consolidation with a pattern. Right, similar thing is happening here with Amrutanjan. One impulse, then it went into consolidation, and what I'm interested in is this gap which is about to like it's been filled, but there's about to be a breakout of this consolidation. Amazon is as a company, it's not a bad company. Consolidation was good enough for a fresh move, at least a 5-6%, 5-10% move, something like that. I mean, from here, at least there maybe this much, 10%, right? So if I get a like SL is too small here. If I get a breakout here, if I see breakout happening live, my SL would come around this level, somewhere around 711. And hoping for this target. Now, this is not the final target. It's a good company. After this clear and consolidation has just happened. So it could give us much higher levels. 10 targets I'm not showing right now. If I see a breakout here, I'll come back with the story. And if I'm holding, if I bought this, I'm holding, and gives me this breakout, I will share my 10 targets as well. Second company to watch for is Gabriel India, auto ancillary. Now, this chart, this is not something I did recently. This chart has been marked since quite some time because it tried breaching the level once with volume. It came down, made a retest at the previous support. Now, this is a good chart. The moment I see a cruising about 161, it is a buy on dips counter. It will begin its uptrend and it's a buy on dip counter. So right now the chart is such place that maybe I mean, my aim is not for higher levels. My aim is just till here, 160-ish. If I see tomorrow, if there's a pattern and I see a good setup here, maybe in the first 1 hour on early time frame or something, so I'll buy here with a stop loss of 140 or 139. I'll look to buy. I'm not exactly confirmed that I'll buy. I'll look to buy. If I'm buying, I'll share in the group. So if I'm buying here, 139 would be my SL, which is very small, 19 points. And with this, I'm hoping for 160. What happens beyond is something I cannot anticipate right now. But if I'm looking at the chart correctly, if this momentum is right, then I'm hoping for a break this time. So I'm hoping for 160 plus levels with a stop loss of just 9 points, which I'll decide tomorrow. Second chart is making similar pattern again. Inverted head and shoulder, already tried breaking with volume, came back, touched a level, and now going for a breach again. Same pattern, same everything. If it breaches 5 to 1, now this is again like it's not exactly a good company, it's a okayish company. So if I see it breaking out, this is a trading bet. If I see a breaking out, I'll place an SL below the weekly low 463 and like keep trailing it. I don't have a target as of now. Support and resistance wise, this could be a good target, which is somewhere around 597. So around 1:1 is what I'm hoping for here. I cannot exactly anticipate if it will, like, it depends on volume. If I see fresh volume picking in, then I'll know what will happen above 600. But as of now, 595, 597 is what I'm hoping for. Last chart is Jindal drill. Now this was shared in the group long back in May. So inverted head and shoulder, similar pattern, similar consolidation, and breached with volume. Now it is almost arriving at its target 161, but it's a good chart as such. So somewhere about this level will be a good way for me to try for 179. Right? Not a trade as of now, but these are four similar kind of patterns. Okay. Now the best for the last, right? So one chart which I'm interested in is, like, I usually like, if I trade stories, but I invest, like, I trade charts, but I invest in stories. Like when there is a chart forming, which there's a volume coming in, blind volume. Basically, no one cares about what level they're getting the chart at, and it's early. Okay, it's early to buy, and no one actually cares about the price. Such a chart is MSTC, right? Now, this company 2 weeks back, they commented they're getting into like financial technology services and all of that, fintech. But as such, the first time I encountered about, I got to know about this chart was during the scrappage policy. When Nitin Gadkari said that he will be releasing, that was around 2020 or 2019 something. So when that started, around here, 2019-20, somewhere around here. So when that started, okay, that is when I started tracking the chart. Now this is a good accumulation which can be easily spotted, and it did not fall, especially, and there was no volume. So when during even the small dip, there's hardly any volume. Again, when it starts rising, there's fresh volume, fresh volume. Now there was a descending triangle pattern already breached with volume, right? Another factor here is this can be considered as a range. Okay, with momentum, there are certain indicators which I follow. I'm not showing it here. Some, like, maybe after a week or so, I'll just tweak them so I can actually display it here. They're on the offline software, not on TV right now. So the indicators are such placed that this stock is actually outperforming the overall markets, right? And the like what happened with IRCTC, it's a platform company, right? Similarly, as what is happening with MSTC, it's from being a company, it is from being a government entity, like a public sector company. It is getting into being framed as a platform company, right? Usually, what I've spotted is the best profits for a shareholder are made during margin expansions, right? When a company gets similar revenues, but the profits spike significantly, that is possible. That, like MSTC, according like what my understanding is, it is going to that phase. This consolidation is telling me that story, that when this breakout happens, it will be with an anticipation of some kind of margin expansions. Being a platform company, expecting margin expansions from this company is, I mean, it is easily possible. So if it closes next Friday above 322, 332, or if I get an intraday move, or something on daily, some pattern on daily, maybe a small dip here and then I get a breakout. If I get something like that, I will look to enter. I'll start adding it little by little, right? Hoping. I mean, I cannot anticipate how much this will go. I have 10 targets right now, but until at least 360 level is shown, there's no point in hoping for them. So if I see a breakout of 360 or maybe 400, I'll share my 10 targets. But this is one company, this is one chart. Ranges are where a chart, like a technical trader, makes most profit in investing, right? Momentum trading. So when I see a range, I see a chart being placed for an up move, I see fresh volume, and I see it being happening in a good company. So this is one chart I'm honestly interested in. So if I see a breakout, I'll personally start adding little by little quantities. Second counter, similar chart structure is Philatex. Now throughout last 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, it has come up, it has popped up on my momentum scanner like almost every single day for the past week, right? So this is clearly an impulse with good volume, right? And happens to be in a range again. So I did break down from there again, entered, and now closing. So if I this is one counter. If I see a breakout of 112, this chart is this is something I'm interested in. So if I see a breakout of 112, I'll look to if I can add some quantity here, enter fresh. I'm not holding any of it right now. If I see it breaking out above 112, maybe I'll start looking at it. Similar chart, similar as MSPC, where higher levels are possible. The third one is Jamna Auto. It's a weekly chart, weekly time frame trade, and it is about to breach this level. Now, it was shared in the group. I was able to get I think 94.80 was my level on Friday, when somewhere around here I was able to get it. Not holding right now, spread it off, did not carry it, but there was a good volume momentum buying on a smaller time frame. I was able to enter at 94.80, somewhere around here, this level, when it broke above the. So this was my expected entry. Yeah, well, I have already shared in the group live as I took it. So, but did not hold it for much. I exited about 98 or something while it started coming down. So this is one chart which I'm interested in. I'm not exactly. I don't have an opinion of what this company will do above 103. But chartically, if it breaches, I see volume. I might. I mean, if it consolidates in this zone, around this zone, somewhere, then I'm interested in this chart. I'll start adding little by little quantity as long as the trend is intact, right? There's one so done with the charts. There's one announcement I'm sharing right now. So a lot of, I mean, okay, sorry, I'm back. So if you look for videos on investing or like positional buying, you'll find multiple. But what matters most in a portfolio is, first is diversification. The second one is position sizing. Right now, I in my group I've been sharing entries that I've taken for. I've started two PFs, one which I've bought in January. Okay, and the second one is an FIP, a fixed investment plan in a portfolio for someone I know. So that I've started in April. April of 16 was the first buying, and I've been adding shares. Whenever I take a fresh entry, I share it in my group. Almost all, except for one or two, almost all entries are shared. But what I don't share there is how much quantity or on what basis am I fixing my quantity for any particular trade. Now in that portfolio there are shares which are almost 18% negative, but the quantity is relatively 10% of the usual quantity. Now how did I figure it out? So I don't see any video on YouTube or anyone explaining that factor. Firstly, there are not many people who actually track a portfolio and then share like sharing a trade is easy, but tracking a portfolio, developing a portfolio on, like, I started when Nifty was 15,000 something. So making a portfolio when Nifty is at all time high and then making money out of it, it requires a set of skills which not many people are sharing openly. So that is something I'll after a week or something, then maybe by next Sunday I'll start posting that on maybe weekend Saturdays and Sundays, how my portfolio is developing, how my entries were taken. I'll take them one by one. Right now I'm holding about 21 entries something. So I've shared about 17 or 18 from them. All were shared when I took them, not after day. Live market as I took them, I've shared them. That's it for now. Done for the day. See you tomorrow.